All right, Happy New Year. I didn't get much gear in 2023. The only new gear that I got, I think, was the NUX Trident. I picked this up a few months ago, but no new guitars. So this is my room. You can't really see any of this stuff in my videos because I'm always standing and you see the wall of guitars. But there's some clutter here on the floor. Got the NUX Trident, and I still use the Boss ME70 with these Line 6 wireless plugs, which I love. I bought the first one in 2016 and it's never failed. Now I have 3 of them. And of course the drop from Digitech just makes life so much easier. But this is the gear that's in this room. I use wireless headphones, and when I record something, I'm just using this iRig 1, the first edition, right into my phone, and then play over a backing track. So I still have my 1987 Randall, which I painted blue years and years ago. It's Testers model paint. And then of course, collectibles that I like to collect, like action figures and rock figures and horror figures. And in the garage, there's boxes and boxes of them. I have that Boss Katana, the 100-watt, but it's been sitting there forever. These Sennheisers, these are old school wireless headphones that an elderly person would watch TV, but they work great when you shoot a video because there's no wire. And it goes into the Trident with one of these adapters, and then I'll play a track into the NUX right through this old school iPad. I think this is the generation 2. But yeah, no new guitars. I ended up flipping a few, and I'll just go around the room. This is a 1987 BC Rich ST3, made in the US. I ended up making it into like a Nuno clone back in 91 or 92. The body was black and I stripped the paint, and then purchased a Warmouth neck. It's the first real guitar I ever had. Next to it is a Shadow Electronics German guitar that was parted out, and it's got DiMarzio's, I don't even remember what kind. If you go to an old video, I think I talk about it, but this has a Mighty Mite neck, and it's got a beautiful top for an unfinished body from Shadow. It's got a Scherler from Germany on it, and then a Les Paul Jr. that was relicked by a buddy of mine named Nate. He's got a company called Nate's Relic Guitars, and this Junior I've had for a number of years. It's got a full-size humbucker. It's really cool. I have this Epiphone Custom Shop Flying V, which is in a beautiful cream, and it's one of my favorite Epiphones. As you can tell, there's no logo on the neck plate, so on stage, you know, it gives people a sense of what kind of V is that. So I like generic stuff. This is a Super Strat that I had built. It's got another Ingve color scheme to it. It's got a special which actually works fine because I don't even use the bar, and a D tuner, and it's got super jumbo frets, and I forget what kind of neck that is. It's the higher end one, not Mighty Might, but I did a video on that also. There was a little bit of a gap, so the luthier filled it in with some wood, but it's a great guitar. This is an 87 Kramer Focus 1000 or 3000. Super rare color, all parted out. It's got a 5150 neck, another high-end neck, and it plays, looks, and sounds beautiful. This is a Roger Bowler custom swirl. He does swirl jobs. If you look him up, Roger Bowler, he's a great artist. He swirled this. It's just a parts guitar. I forget the Floyd on here. It's all parts, maybe? I don't know. It's got a real DiMarzio though, and no logo. This one is the 10S GF Custom. It's got my new band logo on the headstock, and it's a really awesome guitar. These 10S guitars are really nice if you could find them cheap and in the US. I don't know if I'd order one from the guy that makes them, just because God knows if they show up or the quality control. But this came from one of my friends in the US, and it's very similar to an Eclipse. Going down is the Washburn Steve Stevens Relic painted Frankenstein SS guitar. This guitar is super rare. Came from Japan. I forget how to pronounce the website, but I believe it's Korean, and they just souped it up just like the USA model. I'd have to go back and look in an old video, but I did a review on that. And then the Aria, not the Pro, but the regular Aria. This is a 1973 Les Paul, all parted out, brand new frets. I have a great luthier here, and it's got the big diamond. This one is a clone, Randy Rhoads. This is actually made by 10S. So they used to make these relic guitars before they started making their own brand. And these are very hard to find. It's not the same junk that you'd find on some of those Asian apps. So that's the 10S Les Paul Custom Randy Rhoads. And then of course I have the Christopher Woods / Craig Rundle's one of three. It was their first batch of 3 that they made in the USA. All custom, weighs about, I don't know, 10, 11 pounds. These guys built George Lynch's guitar when they did the reunion in 2016. Mine came in 2014, and I've had it ever since. This is the '01 Epiphone, made in Japan, Les Paul Custom, in a super rare color. I've never seen this color, searching Reverb or eBay, and this came from Seattle. It's a 2001 with the open book, traditional headstock, the Gibson logo, weighs over 10 pounds, and it's got the Gibson 490s in it. Next is an Epiphone pre-slash. So this Epiphone was made right before they started putting the slash models out, I think in 2008. So this was only built for Canadian and Japanese markets only. I sent this out and had a headstock mod done on it. It's got the band logo, but it used to have the traditional Epiphone headstock, and now it has the open book. It's parted out. It's got some great parts, and it plays, it sounds amazing. This is the Japanese Wolfgang plant. Shut down, shipped everything out to China. And this is one of the flat top Wolfgangs in cream. I think they only came out for maybe 2 years with a bird's eye fretboard. And it's an amazing, amazing Wolfgang. It has the USA humbuckers and the real Floyd, and these are getting harder to find, and the price is going up. I'm gonna just pan over here. Cheap Carlo Rebelli acoustic that I've had since the 90s. It rarely gets played, of course. I have this authentic Michael Myers mask, and then I have the new slash Epiphone Les Paul. This guitar was picked up from a buddy of mine locally, and the quality control is amazing. The top is beautiful, plays unbelievable, no issues. It's just a really awesome Epiphone. And when these first came out, I wanted to get one, but obviously the prices were high. So I think I did a trade for this. Then I have this Tokai Love Rock that's been beaten and ended up getting all sorts of battle scars on it. But this guitar plays as good as a standard. These Tokais are amazing. This is all parted out with a DiMarzio distortion in the bridge and an Evolution, I think, in the neck. This one is the pink garage sale find. I did a video on this guitar, completely parted out, salmon pink. It's got a preloaded pick guard. I forget from where, Dragonfire maybe, but it's got that mint green color to it. And this neck was aged by the luthier using graphite. So this neck was brand new, and he actually dirtied it up to make it look like it's been played for years. He did an amazing job on that. This is one of those Les Pauls. They stopped making these, I guess because they were too close to Gibsons. But this one I got also locally from a Facebook friend. And it's got a beautiful blue jean top to it. Some flaws, but the seam is straight. A lot of these guitars end up having seams that are off center. There's a bleed here, but it doesn't really bother me much. Stainless frets on these Erts. And the headstocks are also traditional open books. And they say Love Rock, which is very strange because that's what the Tokais say. Next up is a Peter Green, Gary Moore homage Les Paul that I picked up and parted out. Everything was gutted on this thing, and it's got new pickups, I think new bridge, tailpiece, pots. It's great. I mean, those Epiphones are awesome too, but this one I just got lucky with, and it's a solid player and it looks good. And if you bring it somewhere and God forbid it gets stolen, of course you're gonna feel hurt, but it's not gonna be thousands of dollars out the door. An old P bass from the 90s. No logo. I like shaving off logos, and this one has nothing on it. It's an old Squire P bass, but it plays great. I've done some bass covers and no issues. The action's good. What do I have? I still have the HD 500X that I used for years and years and years before the Trident. And this is that Pod XT Live. I maybe tried this for like a month and gave up on it. They're good, but once the 500X came out, I just went right for that. This is an old Tapestry from Tijuana, believe it or not. Hand painted, Motley Crue. Alistair Fiend is the mascot, and it's a great keep, whatever it's called. Great souvenir. This is junk. It's just on the wall to fill a gap. It's certainly got some damage to it. This is the RG. I got this when I turned 30 or 40. I don't even remember, but my wife bought me this guitar. It's all stock and wonderful player, great stock pickups, looks beautiful. This is another 10S G F Relic Blackie. Got this locally from a buddy in New York, bypassed the Asian market, and I wanted it because it's very unique. Here is just a Les Paul copy, one of the first or second ones I bought. Parted it, gutted it, plays okay. The headstock is wrong. It's got my band's logo on it. The diamond is small, but it is a player. It's like a wall hanger. Here's an Ace Frehley copy, the first one I ever had, 2018, and it's a nice guitar. So I don't know what else to say. I bought this from a dude in Jersey and bypassed overseas market. I did a cover recently playing an Alice in Chains solo. This is another homage copy, Sambora, Paisley, gutted, new parts, Floyd Special, nice neck. Bought it from another guy in the US, or we traded, I don't remember, but I've had it for a while. I never play it. And then this is a Squire, I think it's a 2000 Stage Master, neck through, 24 fret, no logo on the headstock. Sanded it down, put a nice light finish on there, but it's beautiful. These weigh over 10 pounds, and if you could find one of these, they're just awesome guitars. You could swap out the parts, but as far as I know, this is stock. I picked it up from a buddy, also pre-owned. So that is it. Like I said, there's nothing new, no new guitars. I flipped, I think, 2 or 3 in 2023. And my wife has a rule, if I get something, I have to flip something. So I'm trying to keep that rule. And that's it. So Happy New Year, and hopefully you stuck around, enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a great 2024. And I look forward to posting some band videos once we start hitting the clubs in a month or so. All right, be well, rock on.